What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're answering the question, do you need caterpillar tunnels to run a market farm or small scale market garden? This is going to be a juicy one, y'all. We're going to do a deep dive into this. Let's jump into it. So jumping right into this question, we first have to ask, where are we growing at? How long is our growing season? Meaning, when is our last frost in the spring and when is our first frost in the fall? And what growing zone are you in? This is going to dictate if, spending the money on a caterpillar tunnel like you see here that I'm standing in is ultimately worth the investment. To give you an example, we are in zone 8A here in Arkansas, and so we can grow pretty much from April all the way to the beginning of December without any type of tunnel or protection of this nature. The additional question that we need to ask before we answer, do you actually need a caterpillar tunnel to run a market farm, is, are you planning on trying to grow through the winter? Are you trying to actually run your farm year round? For us personally, we like taking the winter off. We have multiple other businesses that we run. And so for me, I found that having the winter off is actually really, really enjoyable. So we don't farm from December all the way through the end of March. So pretty much our season is April through the end of November. And that's a really good rhythm for us. I think there's something really biblical about taking rest, about Sabbathing, of just taking a season to restore and rejuvenate. I found that that's really incredibly helpful for us on our farm, just to keep the passion alive for farming, because it is a grind. So once you've calculated how many frost-free weeks that you have to grow, you can then begin to reverse engineer and see, hey, is me spending the money on a caterpillar tunnel going to allow me to get my money back on that investment? And that's the question you have to ask when you're running a market farm or eating business is, can I get the return on my investment from actually purchasing one of these tunnels? And so let's do a deep dive into the actual numbers. The most popular caterpillar tunnel that people typically buy is from Farmer's Friend. Now, the popular dimensions that people typically buy are the 16 by 50 or the 16 by 100. And the 16 by 50 is going to be about $2,700 post-tax, and that is without end walls. Let's say you tack on a couple of end walls on top of that, and you're probably looking at more like the $3,500 range. If you get the 16 by 100, you're looking at $4,250. That's, again, without end walls, so you're going to be around the $5,000 mark once you have completely retrofitted the tunnel to have end walls and all of that. So now we have to ask, can we get our money back in year one by spending $5,000 on a tunnel? So let's take a hypothetical situation that you're going to purchase the 16 by 100 foot tunnel, and that's going to allow you to push into winter, let's say to December or January, and that will extend your season. So let's say you fill that entire tunnel with lettuce. That's a really profitable crop, and you're going to have 4 beds in that 16 foot by 100 foot tunnel, and each bed, let's say conservatively, is going to yield you 80 pounds of lettuce. You're going to plant that in, let's say, September, October, in the fall time frame, to give it enough time to get to maturity by the time the days get really short and the days cold. Because that's the issue of growing in the wintertime, is everything grows really slowly. So you've got to get that crop in the ground when the days are still warm and you've got some good day length left. So let's say conservatively, you're going to get 80 pounds of lettuce off of each of those beds in that caterpillar tunnel. That's going to push you into December, January to continue to sell product from your farm. That's going to equal about 320 pounds, 80 pounds per bed of spring mix. And let's say you sell that at a $12 per pound average. That's going to equal $3,840 of gross sales from that tunnel. So could you get your money back in year one of purchasing one of these tunnels? I think it's possible. But then the question becomes, can you extend your season in the spring and the fall just by using row cover and some quick hoops? Because you can have lettuce growing out in the field with row cover down to 20 degrees. And I think that's where you really have to ask the question, is it worth the ultimate investment? We have 2 of these on our farm. We do love them. It's great for growing summer crops in the summer just to keep them out of the field. But you don't necessarily need these tunnels to run a market farm. If you're wanting to watch some more content about how much does it actually cost to start a market farm, I did this video and I'll put a link right here for you to watch that.